Hi guys. So super excited to hop on here today. I had this moment of realization yesterday during one of my quick meditations that I do. And I was like, grabbing my journal and I was just like, I got to get this all out there because it was so good. And, I have been on this journey for so many years, but truly after this last baby has this journey like really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like confounded. I know that's not the word, but like really just taken off because I've truly been putting in the work. So anyways, I'm going to share with you 5 tips to help heal your postpartum anxiety. Through those, I'm going to share my journey with you in hopes that it's going to inspire you. If you are dealing with postpartum anxiety or depression and you just feel so lost and not sure where to get started and it all feels so overwhelming, know that it's completely normal to feel extremely overwhelmed and anxious after baby. I just remember I'm going to share with you my journey. So why don't we just get started actually? So make sure you tune in to this. And if you are currently postpartum, tell me how many weeks or months or years you are postpartum. If you're experiencing anxiety, go ahead and pop that in the comments below. And I recently had my 5th child, January 8th of this 2021, this past year. Okay. I have 4 other children. My oldest was not 6 yet when I had the baby. His birthday is actually the end of January. So he turned 6 the end of January. So I had 5 babies in a very short span of like 5.5 years. It was a lot. My husband and I had always wanted a family. I didn't know what that looked like. We didn't really have like expectations on it. I specifically really was not planning a 5th baby. I was very, very full with my 4th. My 3rd and my 4th are only 16 months apart. When I gave birth to my 4th son, we were building our house. My in-laws were here from Italy. We were moving. It was like so overwhelming. And I don't think I was not taking that space to like heal and recover after that birth because of everything that was going on. So I truly think I was still processing that, honestly, when I became pregnant with my 5th. And then by the time I had it. So it was just like one of those things that just kind of evolved. So then when I became pregnant with my 5th, I just felt very unequipped. Like I was not ready for it. I really, truly did not think we were going to have many more children, even though like it was kind of still left like maybe in a few years, like, you know what I mean? I did not want another one close. Like I just was very tapped out. I was, I had 4 kids under the age of 4. Like that was just like done. So not planning it. And I had a really hard time accepting it. I was like, in the survival mode. And I just remember that pregnancy being it was very overwhelming. This last pregnancy, I was crying a lot. My husband had like made shifts in his job. So that was like super stressful. Just had all of these things going. It felt like going against me. It was just really hard to navigate. I had started kindergarten with my oldest, homeschooling. So it was like all these new things. And then like COVID was here and it was just so much. Anyway, so it was what it was. Clearly God wanted this other child in our family's life. And I was just, plugging away. I did very little mentally preparing for the birth of this baby. I don't think I quite did it unintentionally. Like I thought I was preparing, but I really was just so exhausted to the point of when I started going into labor with her, it was like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I really just thought I was like, had an upset stomach. Like I thought I was sick. And it was like, all of a sudden in that moment, I realized like, I have to do this and I'm not prepared. Like I'm not ready. I am so exhausted. I remember that day being so long with the kiddos. So it was a really, really challenging birth for me. And I just remember crying and the doctor and swearing. And I remember being like, I'm sorry. And even my husband was like, I've never heard you drop so many F-bombs. And I was like, I just was not in that state of mind. Like it's just what it was. So anyways, so I was experiencing extreme anxiety throughout the entire pregnancy. And I was in the point of my mind was so clouded with all of these negative thoughts. And it was constant me picking on me, that I'm a bad mom, that I'm a bad wife, that I can't do this. Like it was such a negative mind, my light here, thing going on. And I didn't realize that until I started therapy. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you is to get a therapist. And you can set one up even while you're pregnant or have that set to go when you have a baby. You're going to have to give me a minute, Paolo. Where's the guitar? Before I left the hospital, I told them I need a referral for a therapist. Like I don't want to go home and not have this set up because I'm feeling very overwhelmed. So luckily I had that, and it was only it was that week, I think I was home, like someone had reached out to me and we started making that connection. But I remember it was over Zoom, that meeting, that first time with my therapist, and she was doing a quick little quiz, like to see where I fell on the anxiety thing. And I was off the charts. Like I just started bawling because the questions she was asking me, like they were so validating, and I was just sobbing because I was like, I can't breathe. Like I truly was to the point like where in every single day I was like being suffocated because all of my anxiety had gotten so incredibly bad. And she was like, it's okay. We're going to work through this. And it was just kind of like, I was finally being seen and heard, like someone is coming into my brain and like take this all away from me. Like I can't do it anymore. Okay. Thank you, Paolo. I'll be right with you. Okay. Anyways, so that was just so mind blowing. And you guys, yes, after, please, I'm making a quick video. Step outside now and I will be right with you. So anyway, she just helped me realize, and you guys, she literally was just dissecting things for me in my life. Like, this is what my brain is saying. This is what my body is doing. How can we change the thoughts in your head so you're not feeling that? So it's very like cognitive behavioral therapy. And I'm still working with the same woman, and she is just flipping fantastic. So, just right there, the number one, you need the therapy to have someone on the outside looking and you just dissecting that all. And it was hard at first because there were times where like I could not get it out. Like I didn't know why I was feeling the way I was feeling, but she worked with me on that. So the number one step to healing is getting a therapist. The second thing that is really helpful that also therapy has been helping was like creating rituals and creating habits of self-care. So I was always a big proponent of self-care, and I was like, yep, I do that already. And she's like, okay, like tell me about it. But what happened was I was to a place where I literally was just checking off boxes. I was like, yep, I did movement today. Yep, I journaled today. But I was not like in it. And self-care, what was serving me then, and like back, years before, I kept trying to do it, but it was not serving me anymore. Like I had to continue to find little snippets throughout my day that I could put in that self-care. Like whether it be turning on the radio and like dancing while I'm cooking dinner, you know, whether it is literally just going outside and laying in the grass for 5 minutes while the kids are running around. Like I had to find, or doing a puzzle. I literally had to find new ways to manage that self-care into my life. And like, I would have not figured that out if it had not been for therapy. So the second thing is just creating rituals and sticking to them. And you have to be open to new things that you might be like, that sounds so moronic. Like, why would I ever do that? But you have to be open to it and trying things. And understanding that, like, as a mom, when you transition into motherhood, it's a new chapter. And like, you're going to have to find different ways to manage your life that you might have not had before. Like the things that were serving you before you became a mom might not be serving you now. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean you can't go back to that, but it's really important to understand that you're going to have to figure out new ways. So therapy, self-rituals, or creating rituals. The other thing, like taking one thing at a time. Like we always had a goal, like having a goal for a week or a 2-week span is like so incredibly helpful. So being like, okay, this week, this is what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on, you know, documenting when I'm feeling rageful, or documenting, you know, when I say this to myself, I'm going to stop it in my head, and what am I going to rephrase it with? Like, it's literally so intentional, like choosing one thing at a time, because then once you choose that one thing and you focus on it for a couple weeks, then you can add on another later. But it's really important to just choose one thing at a time, because if you are if you're thinking about it as a big whole, it's like too much, right? Overwhelming. So one thing at a time. Therapy, rituals, one thing at a time. A movement practice is so beneficial. So whether this is like your self-care, a piece of your self-care, it doesn't have to be all of it, but movement feels good. Whether it be walking, whether it be, you know, like a quick home workout of Pilates, working your core. I'm a huge proponent of pelvic floor, as you know that. And truly building even a pelvic floor and core ritual into your life is so beneficial for you, because it allows you to breathe and like reduce that stress. But whatever movement fills you up, like that's what you need to focus on. And again, I'm going to bring up the point that what is working for me movement wise might not work for you. So don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole. Truly connect with something that fills you up. And fitness wise, what was serving you before might not serve you now, and that's okay. Or you might not be ready to do those high intensity workouts or lifting the heavy weights, because you just might not have that energy physically and mentally to do something like that. And it's okay to take that step back. So be aware of that, and that it's okay, and telling yourself it's okay. This is okay. This is what's serving me now. It's okay for me to do that. So that goes along with the thought process too. Like everything here, guys, I want you to get is so interconnected. Okay. And the last thing is to meditate. Guys, meditate and journaling is so powerful. I'm not going to tell you to do this. Just try it. Okay. Once a week. If you think meditating, like you can't do it, just try it once a week and see what happens. Just try putting it into your day. Same with journaling. Sometimes, especially as women, like we carry all of these thoughts in our head on a daily basis. Like, I got to pay the bills. You got to pick up the baby. I got to change, you know, the sheets. What are we having for dinner? Like, I got to make sure the bag is packed for the kids, or like this is done. Like so many things. And sometimes just writing that out on paper releases it all. And it's so powerful. Even the thoughts you're having in your head against that. I'm totally going over the time limit that I wanted to go, but so just journaling is so powerful. So those are the 5 tips I have for you. Therapy, creating rituals, movement. What did I say? The other one, meditate and journal. Create rituals. I feel like I am missing one that I said. movement. Oh, just changing the words in your head, guys. Changing the words in your head. So just mind blowing what that will do for you. And then really quick, I wanted to touch on postpartum anxiety and how it goes into your body after baby. Again, this is all going to go back to the thought process, but if you are telling yourself that you need to lose the weight, that, you don't fit into your clothes and it doesn't feel good. And I'm not saying it's not valid to have those feelings, because it is. But if you are continually telling yourself that you need to lose the weight, you're instantly right there telling yourself that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough. And that was a huge mindset shift that I've made, through this journey of baby number 5. And it's just so powerful because I've completely changed that in my head. And I am so much better without having those thoughts that don't serve me. So truly changing those thoughts and, tell yourself what you can do. So, tell yourself, I'm going to focus on more whole foods. Don't be like, what diet am I going to do? But do you see the reversal? How just changing that shift, like, I'm going to eat more whole foods starting today. I'm just going to always choose whole foods. I'm going to drink more water. So keeping it to the positive is just so powerful. Okay, I'm over my time. I hope you enjoyed that. I just needed to get that off my chest because it felt so powerful not to share with you. So just make sure you check out the links in the comments below. I have some free guides for you guys if that's anything that's helpful, but I'm so excited for you. If you're tuning in and you are here listening to the end of me blabbing, make sure you leave a comment and let me know what stuck out the most to you. And if I can help you in any way along your postpartum journey, please let me know. Peace.